tell us a little bit about the kind of the overall thought, and then let's break it down into the individual spaces that you've got here.
Okay. So all of this started from me started doing real estate marketing. And first, I'm a real estate agent by trade. That was the first foundation. And I started with my creative passion basically my whole life with videography and things like that. I think I'm one of the trailblazers in that space of making the whole video of a listing back in 2015, 16. And then it became a thing. And when COVID hit, remember that week where we were all home, can't leave anything, and I'm just like, I spent good 48 hours just sorting all my Legos by colors and shapes, and I'm sitting there going, well, if we can't leave the house, how are people gonna sell their house? And if people aren't selling their house, like, we have no houses to photograph or anything. And I just kind of started thinking, like, what is next? And landed on the idea of, why don't I start coming up with ideas and creating marketing content for real estate agents? So came up with this concept of, consistently staying on top of minds of their clients and friends and family and all that. So we started recording videos once a month that could be distributed on a weekly basis. And I found myself packing up my gear, loading into the car, going to their office, shoot, set up, shoot, tear down, and then go to a different office, set up, shoot, tear down. And once I got to 4 or 5 agents, I'm just like, I'm spending half of my time just driving, packing, unpacking. So I decided to rent the space. And that's the current im3rd studio space. And then a couple of months later, the church next door, unfortunately, had to close down because of COVID. And then just there was an opportunity for us to expand, probably a little bit sooner than I would have liked to, but it's either now or for 5 years, I probably couldn't do it.
Right.
So that's how we ended up with this amazing, 3,000 square foot of space.
Because this area was a church.
Exactly. This used to be a church. And this is what we turned into, like a podcast station. We were trying to build like a set, and we were, trying different things. And my goal of wanting to bring the community together was always there. And we've been in the Mill Creek area for 12, 13 years, and we always felt bad that we were never part of the community. But once we started renting the space, I started connecting with a lot more people, and it like opened my eyes. Man, I live in this community where like I could actually help people get better at things and just bring them together. So the concept of im3rd Place inside of my head has always existed, but it actually wasn't until I met you, my friend, that it literally became more of a reality. Because when you and Rio first came in to do Real Producers podcast, and then I found out about SnoWorks, and we kind of started talking, and you became our client. And I still remember when I first went to SnoWorks, it was just like, that's it. Except we have a little twist.
Yeah, a very unique twist.
Right. So our concept is it's more hyper local, but it's geared towards small business owners more so than like a work at home Amazon or Microsoft person. Because as a small business owner, I went through this phase of loneliness, working too much in the business, not on the business. And also the fact that I was creating things for other people, but never got to a point where I was creating things for myself because it just became such a chore. So the idea was, well, I already have a studio. Why can't I come up with a co-working space where everybody can come? But the idea is for small business owners to get out of their business, to get rested, to rejuvenate, and be able to work on their business. And if you think about any teriyaki spots or barber shops or little craft stores, even like, Pilates, like class or art, they don't have their own space. And when you're always in the same environment, it's hard to get creative. So I wanted to create something where they can come, sip on a cup of coffee or have a beer, lounge around, but also connect with other business owners where they can get ideas and then literally make it so easy for you to just scoot over to our studio and start creating stuff that you can tell the story about your business.
Video is everything for everybody.